NBA legend Tim Hardaway Sr. has just called out Mitchell Robinson for a very strange and untrue reason, and we have to talk about it. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into the video because according to Tim Hardaway Sr., the Knicks are not going to miss Mitchell Robinson during his absence because he was a liability anyway on defense. If there's anything on this planet that Mitchell Robinson, when it comes to basketball, is not a liability at, it's defense. Mitchell Robinson has been one of the consistently best defenders in the NBA when he's healthy. We all know that. There's no debate. We see the effect he has. He prevents players from driving to the rim. He now gets steals more often than he gets blocks because no one shoots layups and tries to go for dunks on him anymore. I don't know how you could say this, and it just doesn't make much sense. Especially when you consider something else about this quote. Something that people are not talking about and what's not in the headlines, obviously, is the fact that Tim Hardaway Sr. was specifically talking about Game 1 between the Knicks and the Pacers. Now, is it true that Mitch had a rough first half? Yes, absolutely. Is it also true that Mitch was playing really injured? Yeah, he was playing on a stress reaction. What do you expect? I mean, literally, I can't see what people could expect when not even fully healthy. In Game 1 against the 76ers, Joel Embiid's stats when guarded by Mitch for 19 minutes were 7 points on 2 for 11 shooting and 0 for 3 from 3. And I don't get it. I don't understand how you could say that because he was a liability on defense for a half of basketball when he had a stress reaction in his ankle. So the Knicks aren't going to miss him? Yeah, we are. I'm pretty sure we're going to miss Mitchell Robinson in his absence. Now, obviously, I made 2 videos on Mitch yesterday in regards to the injury. One talking about how he was going to miss Game 2, and then a few hours later when it came out that Mitch would be missing the rest of the playoffs with the stress injury. But, I mean, I don't understand how this instantly goes to, he doesn't matter. I even said I don't think the Knicks, I don't think their future in this playoffs is going to change that much. I think the Celtics are just going to run through every team in the Eastern Conference. I don't even think the Celtics are that good. Jason Tatum's overrated, but, it doesn't even matter at this point. The Knicks are too injured. The Cavs aren't good. The Pacers damn well aren't good. No one can touch the Boston Celtics this year regardless. So if that's what Tim Hardaway's getting at, then all right, you have a point there. You have an actual ground to stand on, and I understand where you're coming from, and I don't disagree. However, if you think the series against the Pacers isn't going to change or is not going to be more difficult that they don't have Mitchell Robinson, that is just incorrect. When he's healthy, Mitch is a top 10 center in the NBA. He's a top 5 defensive center in the NBA when he's healthy. So I don't really see how you could say that he's a liability on defense because he played one half. And again, he literally did say that it was last game, not overall. But you can't take a sample size that's a half of a game and then say, yeah, he was playing on a stress injury and he's a bad defender. That just doesn't make sense. I don't understand what even the point is of that. And regardless, you're still going to miss him. Precious is not as good as Mitchell Robinson is at basketball. He's just not. He's a great player. I love Precious Achiuwa. I think he's been awesome for the Knicks. But he's not Mitch. And as I said, I kind of like the Precious-Isaiah Jackson matchup because it's just who can outwork who, and I trust that Precious will always win those, especially when you're coached by Tom Thibodeau and not by Rick Carlisle. No shade towards Carlisle, but he's not Tom Thibodeau. They're just different coaching styles. One of them's offense, one of them's defense. Defensive teams play harder. So I'm going to give the edge to Precious. They're also unbiased because I'm a Knicks fan, but I just don't see why we would say these things. But Mitchell Robinson even spoke on being injured. He said, this is so effed up, dog. I don't even know what to say right now. This is not over. I will seek revenge. Yes, Mitch, you absolutely will. And then he said, after hearing what happened yesterday, I was upset. But now when I look back at it, I was guarding people with 1 foot. So Tim Hardaway Sr., there's your answer. The man was guarding someone who's guarding people with 1 foot. Who's guarding the MVP of the NBA, the reigning MVP, for a few more days until they announced that Jokic won it. The reigning MVP guarded him with 1 foot, held him to playing bad basketball multiple times. I mean, Mitch was the only one who could defend Embiid at all. Hartenstein was getting mixed by Joel Embiid. And I love Isaiah Hartenstein. I love both the Knicks centers. But in all honesty, we all know he was getting mixed. Now, one thing to mention, because just talking about, like, oh, yeah, this whole thing, like, they're not going to miss Mitch or whatever, which just isn't true. When you take a look at Precious's stats in game 3, the game that he played the most minutes, I believe, he held the 76ers to 2 for 8 shooting as the primary defender. Precious also, when Mitch missed a half of basketball, came in and just for 12 straight minutes gave Joel Embiid absolute hell. So shout out to Precious Achiuwa. I mean, he's definitely a good player. Like, he's a great defender. The offense isn't as good. The offensive rebounding is obviously not as good. Mitch is the best offensive rebounder in the NBA. But, like, I'd rather Mitch be here than Precious, and also I'd just rather, not a 7-man rotation. So, someone please get Alec Burks in this game, Tibbs, please, like, I'm begging you. But I don't know. I think that this is a really weird thing to say, especially when I mean, obviously this was 6 years ago now, but your son was teammates with this guy, and I don't know if he's trying to shade Mitch. I don't know if he's just trying to say Mitch was injured and that's why they won't miss him because he was already injured as it was. If that's what you're saying, again, you have an actual ground to stand on, and I don't disagree. Look, as I said, I know where Tim Hardaway Sr. is coming from with the fact that the Knicks are not going to beat the Celtics regardless. I just don't see that as a real possibility. But I do fully believe that the Celtics are just going to murder the Knicks in every single sense of the word. But also, the Pacers are just going to be a harder matchup now without Mitchell Robinson. When you have a guy like that in the paint who teams know to not drive on, you make their game harder to play. And yeah, the Pacers shoot threes as fast as possible. They basically play in 8 seconds or less offense instead of 7. So, like, yeah, you can totally do this and kind of evade Mitch anyway, but still, you got guys who are going to want to get to the hole, like Aaron Nesmith and stuff like that, who want to drive, and it's more inviting to drive on 6'8" Precious Achiuwa, who's in and out of the rotation, than 7 feet tall Mitchell Robinson, who is an absolute monster below the rim. I just don't understand it. I think this is a weird time to just start bashing Mitch or just calling out Mitch and the Knicks and saying the Knicks don't need him. We're going to see how much the Knicks need him as of tonight when Game 2 happens and, all the games after that. And we're going to see how much the Knicks need Mitch, and I think that will have an effect on if Mitch comes back to the Knicks next year or he gets traded. I'm very interested to see. Comment down below your thoughts. Is Tim Hardaway Sr. tripping? Does he have a point? What do you guys think? Let me know down below. Like this video, subscribe to Knicks Digest. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Turn on post notifications. You have enough notifications anyway with all those girls texting you, or guys, I don't judge. Go Knicks.